On this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic, we debate should we really be protesting for Meek Mill or did he bring this on himself? Plus, Wendy's owner and former NBA legend Albert King is in the building. All that and more on this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay. Go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic.
You know what? I got to come clean. Every once in a while, after a haircut or a close shave, I experience razor bumps. For years, I used alcohol or witch hazel or, whatever super expensive new skincare product was on the market. I even went to the doctor who gave me some stuff. None of it's worked for me. I had a hard time finding the right solution. I stopped guessing and I got Bumpcology. Bumpcology's serum doesn't employ alcohol. It doesn't employ harsh acidic astringents to screw your skin up. It's a soothing serum that will make your face feel nice. It will soothe the irritability of the razor bump in the affected area. It helps to allow the ingrown hair to come out on its own naturally. Put Bumpcology on your skin wherever you have an ingrown hair or a razor bump, and literally in days, somewhere between 1 to 3 days, you'll notice the difference. The ladies will love it. Your skin will feel soothed and relieved. Bumpcology. Bumpcology.com. BUMPCOLOGY.com. Stop guessing and get Bumpcology. Bumpcology.com.
All right, welcome to Three Black Guys with the Mic. Spud is here, Maynard is here, Lamont is in the building. Coming up later on in the show, Albert King, one of our great sponsors from Wendy's, former NBA superstar, will be joining us to talk about Wendy's, life after the NBA, and a whole lot more. Maynard, I just want to ask you if you want to walk back your cactus from last week. You gave Tyrese the cactus. I just want to see if you want to just walk that back. Tyrese came out and said...
Stand your ground.
I'm just saying, Tyrese came out and said that he was on too many meds. He was on depression. He was on depression medications, and it's not fair for him to get the cactus because the man was depressed and he was on his medications.
Tyrese, first of all, stop. I'm going to let you get this started.
Be strong.
How did you know that Tyrese was on too many meds?
He said it. He came out and said it.
God damn, can Tyrese just shut his mouth occasionally? You got to put all your business in the street, Tyrese?
Give it to him, man. Give it to him.
In addition to that, Tyrese was out there. He was out in England or London somewhere with the yogi or whoever doing namaste when he's supposed to be over there, making sure that he was taking care of his daughter. In the court case, he missed the court case so he could do yoga in London. There's a hot yoga somewhere on Wilshire.
He could have went to Russell Simmons' yoga joint.
He could have went to a hot yoga in Compton or down there on Crenshaw somewhere and been able to make it.
Or in Watts, on his hometown of Watts.
Ain't nobody asked him to go all the way over. Now you a minute ago, Spud, we were talking in the pre-show about being bougie. You got to be awful bougie if you got to go to yoga all the way to London. There's a hot yoga somewhere. Ninja, you can get one of those little mats from Walmart for like $8.
But come on, man. The man was on depressive meds. Come on, Maynard. He can't get no walk back. No walk back.
He need to walk his ass back home, then go into all those daggone court appearances. He missed the court appearance. His ex was like, yo, we trying to help him get what he want, but he didn't even show up to court. And then he gonna go and post a picture talking about thanks to Uncle Russ for the shout out on the yoga in London. Just stop, man.
So here's my question.
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to really, start off with Tyrese. I just wanted to see if he was gonna give him some love. So did Will and Jada give him the $5 million, or did he not get the $5 million? Because Will and Jada said that they didn't give him the $5 million, and he said he got the $5 million. Somebody, anybody, everybody, scream.
I mean, go ahead, give it to him, Maynard. Listen, because I have officially taken my sweet lady plaque off the wall. Tyrese has been removed. It's going in storage when I go back.
You replace it with Mariah Carey, or would you replace it with?
We shouting out Mariah. Mariah put some checks over here, so we good in them Mariah days. But Tyrese has officially been taken off the wall. The plaque is down. So go ahead, Maynard, because I don't even want to talk about Tyrese no more.
I thought you was working Black Rose, too. I thought you was going
No, I'm good. But there's no plaques for Black Rose. Ain't no plaques for that. No, ain't no plaques for that. We good.
Ain't nobody. Tyrese, man, just you lucky a lot has happened in a week because you borderline cactus worthy again this week.
You say he borderline, bro?
Borderline.
Here's the reason why he should get the cactus, because now today he came out and said he was going to defend himself in court. He was not. He got rid of his attorneys, and now he's going to defend himself in court. Tyrese, are you back on the dang depressive meds? You need to.
Repeat this. If what he said was true the first time, then Will and Jada gave him $5 million for his court fees. Then he turned around and said, "Hey, yo, Mr. Lawyer Dude, I don't need you, homie. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this $5 million in my pocket." He said, "I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M's in my bank account."
Whoa. Maynard, what did you say? Whoa, Maynard.
Now, Maynard, listen, all
shout out to 21
podcasts,
Savage.
you get a W for knowing that joint. The entire podcast, you get an entire W. Every time Lamont comes at you in this podcast, you get a W no matter what, just on the 21 Savage reference.
He did shout out 21 Savage. Wow.
Because I don't tell y'all don't mean that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep my thing on the low. But while we're at that, while we're in this portion of the discussion, I just want to say, is Post Malone a genius?
Stop.
Bud?
Stop.
Post Malone's not a genius.
Oh, he's not a genius.
No, but Cardi B is a genius.
Oh. See, this is the problem.
Here we go.
We trying to make America great again. This is the racism.
No, we're not. Wait a minute. Wait.
Hold on.
Who's trying to make America great again? Did something happen over the weekend that you switched sides?
No, I'm just saying Post Malone hit number 1 by basically looping his song about 30 seconds, putting it on YouTube, and it went nuts. That's a gimmick that worked, right? He hit number 1.
That was just lucky.
And now we 5 weeks in. Number 1. But he's not genius, but Cardi B is genius.
Cardi B is genius because ain't nobody is on SNL talking about Cardi B. Talking about Post Malone. Ain't nobody giving Post Malone the Spirit of Detroit Award. Even though she shouldn't have got that award anyway. But that's a whole other story. I'm sorry. Cardi B is genius, man.
Lamont, do you see the hypocrisy in this still, Lamont?
Here's what I'm going to say, man, and I'm not going to back off of what I said. I think what's happening with the marketing of Cardi B,
genius.
Now that let me finish. Let me get mine for a minute. Now that Cardi has put on clothes, right? She's toned down this ratchetness that she had 6 months ago. So now she's a little bit more acceptable of what's, of what's out here. Because again, she's not half naked, you know what I'm saying? And you're right. She has one record, but I still don't believe, well, technically, let me back that up too. She's featured on a couple of other records. Let's be clear. So she had one big record and she has 2 big features.
Yeah, 2 big records. 2 big records.
Fall back, but they're not hers. If we want to be technical about it.
Looking Like I Caught a Lick was a big record.
Stop, bro. Come on, man. Stop. I know
Can I
you
say-
a part. Yeah, I know
Can I
he's
say one
he-
last thing about
no,
Tyrese?
we get to Tyrese, but see, Spud and this being the senior national director of the Cardi B fan club, Midwest office.
Midwest office.
This
Wait a
this is
minute.
kind
I
of going a
didn't
little
say
bit too far,
anything
bro.
to you about the pictures you posted, about your picture frame, or the J&B's twins. I didn't say anything to you because you the president of the Beehive fan club.
Listen,
You got
man,
pictures
Beyonce-
of Sir and Remy all on the wall. That's what you replaced the Tyrese plaque with. I didn't say
Listen,
anything
man.
to you.
Listen, Beyonce. it's some shots fired tonight.
Everybody
Listen, man.
going time.
Listen, Beyonce is the queen forever, and we that has nothing to do with Cardi. Cardi has another 15 to 20 more years to be out here in this musical space, to be out here in this moving the needle space, and we all know that Cardi's not going to last like that, and it's okay. Let her keep her run and what she's doing, because musically, I just don't know if we're looking for a good 8 to 10 to 12 tracks of Cardi B.
But let me ask you a question before because I hate that we go back to Cardi B. Let's make it a Cardi B free podcast. I'm just curious, why can't Cardi B live? Why can't you just be happy for Cardi B?
She's living.
Why, but why do you have to constantly
Because
come down on her every single week saying she's a stripper, she's a scallywag?
we didn't say scallywag. We didn't say scallywag.
What did
We
you
said
call her in
stripper.
the beginning? You did no. You said something. You called her something before.
We didn't say
then you came
scallywag.
back. You walked back and you apologized to myself, Mark Hicks, and the entire country for Cardi B becoming number one. Then you said, "Oh yeah, she was number one, but it ain't gonna happen again." But damn, why can't the girl live? This is black on black crime.
Listen, man. Here's what I'm gonna say, man. My
I was
first.
trying to say one last thing about Tyrese.
I know I got you. We're gonna get to Tyrese. We're gonna get to Tyrese, but I'm gonna say this about Cardi, and I'm done. If you've ever, like, when I was a little kid, like my mom used to take us to a place called Ponderosa, right?
The
You know, you get
Oh
the-
my God, here we go.
Right,
Can
right.
we get some new references?
Let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
Lamont got 5 stories in his life. We went to the Ponderosa. Santa Claus is a lie.
Right.
That ice that white people got is colder than mine.
Right.
Listen.
The Easter Bunny ain't real.
Listen, I'm gonna put this out here. I can't wait to have my mom on this podcast. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Maybe we'll do that for Christmas, since we're not gonna talk about Santa Claus. But anyway, when you grew up on Ponderosa your whole life, and then you grow up and you finally go to a Double Eagle Steakhouse, you're like, wow, all of those years of me eating what I thought was a real steak. I mean, it's the same thing with Cardi B. Cardi B is like a ribeye at Ponderosa.
I'm sorry. Hey, Maynard. What's a Double Eagle?
You don't act like you don't know what a Double Eagle is.
What's Double
Stop.
Eagle steak?
A little Del Frisco action. I mean,
Yeah, come on.
Yo, but it doesn't matter. You and I, we not on the invite list.
Okay,
for
we
that.
know the invite list. Okay.
Don't worry.
All right, cool. All right, anyway, back to Tyrese, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Maynard.
Man, I just wanted to say never mind. I ain't gonna go back to it. Just thank you for the W for the 21 Savage reference. That's all.
All right, so
y'all,
anyway,
y'all know how
We were on.
I'm in these streets, baby. I'm in these streets, girl. I'm in these
on
streets.
Cardi B. So because Lamont does not like black women winning, are you at least happy for Tiffany Haddish, hosting SNL? Can Tiffany
what?
Haddish get a W?
Let's do this. Let's get the Facebook page ready. 3 Black Guys with a Mic. Because it's getting ready to be some haters, right? And they're gonna come onto the page and they're gonna talk real reckless like they've done before when they don't agree with what Lamont has to say. But she's not funny, bro.
You didn't think she was funny in Girls Trip? She was
Girls
hilarious.
Trip. No. Hold up. It was funny, but it was like BC kind of funny. It wasn't like my sides are hurting kind of funny. I saw her special on Showtime. I'm glad they gave her the special. Again, I'm good for all of the accolades she's getting, but SNL hosting, that was kind of a stretch. Like, it was a few people that must have been busy. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a few other people that probably should have got that slot. I get the whole black
Like
woman
who?
thing.
Who?
I don't know, bro. Like, you gotta give me a minute. Like, it's a
Whoopi
lot of other
Goldberg.
people that could have. No, Whoopi was at home. She was talking to her.
Well,
Monique.
let's see.
Some more.
I would like to sing some more, but I don't know if SNL was ready for that. Some more's a little raw. I mean, she could have cleaned it up, but some more could have got that look. I would have went for her over Tiffany Haddish.
But we know we know this much. It's about heat and like,
Absolutely,
some more,
right.
Some more
Or
don't have no
perceived,
heat.
or perceived. Well, Maynard, perceived heat.
When's the last time Samora was, one of 4?
When was the first time? When was the last time Samora was hot? Period.
Not on that level. I'm just saying,
Next
like
Friday?
she was she on next Friday?
Yeah, she was one
Friday
of them
after,
Fridays.
no, Friday after next.
Friday after next.
After next, right? And again, Tiffany Haddish was a part of a movie that made over $100 million. I get it, but be clear.
But isn't
She-
wasn't she
she
on?
had a- she had a lot of help,
Insecure?
bro. Tiffany?
No.
No.
What
She-
TV show
I'll tell you
was
what
she
she
on?
was. She was on. You know what? I'll tell you what she was on that got canceled, but she was on the Carmichael, the
Oh,
Jared
the Carmichael.
Carmichael
That's
show.
right. That's right.
Yeah, you know what? Let me take that back. Let me fall back. I didn't catch that till on the Netflix run. She was crazy on that. Even though I like dude, you know what I'm saying? The Carmichael guy, that whole family ensemble, that was funny. But that wasn't. It's time for me to host SNL funny. Nah.
Yeah, well, let me say this. The monologue was decent.
It was lukewarm. It was
Yeah.
like a Earl Grey tea that's been kind of out the pot too long. You know what I'm saying?
Not Earl
Black.
Grey.
It was Earl Grey. Come on,
Earl Grey.
come on, son. You know,
Can't even get no oolong.
Right.
no Lipton. No, it was like an Earl Grey that was like room temperature. You know, you can still sip on it, but it ain't. You got to heat this up a little bit, bro. I'm just telling.
No Tetley's tea. No Tetley's, huh?
Nah, we good. We good. So go ahead and go to the Facebook page because I know we got like this little group of, we're gonna beat up on Lamont a little bit. I'm ready, but she wasn't hot. It wasn't. And if you
Lamont, let me do this because you my man and all.
what?
Hey,
I'm ready. What?
Hey, listen, my fans. Don't beat up on Lamont. Don't beat up on Lamont. Do this one for me.
Manny, what'd
I'm
you
ready,
think?
John.
What'd you
I
think?
love you.
Because you're always, celebrating women in Hollywood, and we always got to support the black women in Hollywood and black women in Hollywood, and this is great. What did you think?
Yo, I'm in many ways I'm like Lamont. Like, yo, good look on getting it. I don't think the monologue was okay. She did the same dance in every skit. The Black Unicorn skit, oh, that was just horrible.
Lion King skit wasn't funny?
No, son. No.
Ah, Cardi B
Nah, I
all
did-
set.
None of it was amazingly funny. I mean, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was just, at best, it was mildly funny. Like, there were times I was like, man, I could just go and pop some popcorn and just, come back a little bit later and maybe rewind back to it. But nah, no thanks. I'll just go and turn on something else. Oh, there's an episode of the old Beauty and the Beast. Oh, well, watch that.
Nader, you got 2 W's in the. You got 2 W's, bro. Did you not hit us with you said Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, remember the show had my man and he used to hide in the city or something. I don't know. It was on CBS back in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, I
See, here's what happened. And Spud got sucked into it too. Is they hit you with the first black comedian female to host, and you subliminally like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and this feels good and we're gonna buy in. No, bro, we can't do that. It still has to be good.
Well, hold on, but let's hold on for 1 second.
What?
Because they'll let some of these people, some of these other folks, as we like to say around my daughter, some of these tall people,
Yes.
can come in the host, and they suck too. But they get
Wait. What's the code word for tall people?
talk.
He did say the code word, right? Like, what does that mean?
Tall people is the code word.
I know, but I'm just saying, what's the real definition? Unless the daughter listens to the podcast and we can't say it.
For Ashley Simpson, for all these untalented people that show up who happen to be, white, maybe have had an opportunity to work with
the
Harvey
code
Weinstein.
word is white people means tall people. So the new word for white people is tall people?
Correct.
And you know why they're tall? Do you know why they're tall?
Because their ice is colder?
Yes, because when you consume cold ice, you are taller, bro. Like,
Yo, man,
y'all didn't read
we
that?
haven't even got to the show. Can we just take a break? Can we just have a break so we can? We have to adjust Lamont's foolishness.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yo, man, when we get with Al King, can you ask him to get us some Frosty coupons?
Yeah, we didn't ask for no Frosty coupons. We asked for some 4 for 4s. We do need some Frosties. Anyways, before we go to a break, or before we start the show, I should say,
Started the show.
Eminem, Walk on Water. Yeah, no. Lamont?
I mean, here's the deal, man. It doesn't. It's like that lukewarm tea, bro. Like, it's like you want something else. You're like, what is this? Like, I get it. I get the whole you want to express yourself. I get the whole, I'm riled up. I get the whole I'm the Elvis Presley of rap. I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I didn't like it. I want something else. I sent it back to the kitchen and said, just cook this over.
Lamont, don't worry about anything, man. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shooters. I got them, baby. I got you.
Listen, when I leave tonight, I'm gonna need some security, bro.
You on fire tonight, man. You on fire tonight. Hey, look, let's take a break. Sorry we took 20 minutes to not even start the show to talk about random stuff when we come back. Albert King will be with us. And then we also got to talk about Meek Mill. We got to talk about Roy Moore and a lot more. Stay right there. You're listening to 3 Black Guys with the Mic. Today is the day to treat yourself and not cheat yourself. I'm talking about Wendy's 4 for 4. We talk about getting yourself fresh food in your body, not frozen food, fresh food in your body. That is what it's all about. Eating good, eating juicy, eating healthy. Not all that frozen food. Putting all that frozen food in your body, not a good look for you. So, grab yourself a Wendy's 4 for 4. A choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or a crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nuggets, small fry, and a drink. All for only $4. It's always fresh, never frozen, at a participating Wendy's for a limited time. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to 3 Black Guys with the Mic. My man, Albert King, NBA superstar legend, is on with us right now. Mr. King, thank you so very much for joining 3 Black Guys with the Mic. How are you, my man? Thank you so very much for joining us.
I'm doing good. I'm over here in New Jersey, and I'm having a good time. It's great to be here with y'all tonight. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
So are we. So are we.
I know you are.
Let us know a little bit about your background. Who'd you play for? Give them the 411 about Albert King.
Brooklyn, New York. Went to school in Fort Hamilton High School. Went on to make it a quick thing. Went to the University of Maryland. That was back in 1977 to 81. 1981, I was drafted by, being from Brooklyn, it was a dream come true. I was drafted by the New Jersey Nets, and I played there for 7 years, and then I went on to play with Philadelphia 76ers and the San Antonio Spurs. So my basketball career ended in like 1991, somewhere in that area. And since that time, you might get into that. I've been in the restaurant business. I went into the restaurant business in 1995, and I've been a Wendy's franchisee since that time.
So, when you exited basketball, and that was in the days where there weren't these monstrous contracts, right? And you were, nearing the end of your career, and you played overseas for a short spell as well, right?
Right, I did. Yes.
And as you were exiting basketball, what was your plan to, be able to keep, a lifestyle and live like you say you're a Wendy's franchisor now, but how did you have a plan like that, or how did it happen?
I'll be real with you all, as you say. I had no plan. I knew that I was going to be retiring soon. My body was breaking down. I didn't have a plan of what I was going to do. I know one day I was sitting at home after I didn't get any calls to play in the NBA, and I was looking inside I was looking through the newspaper, and I was going to go down and see about being a car salesman. And nothing's wrong with that. I had no idea. I had no plan on what I wanted to do. So I don't want to sit here and make it out like, well, I was thinking 2 years before I retired, I'm going to go into the restaurant business. It didn't happen like that. We could get into the rest of how I did, but I had no clue. And anyone listening, if you don't have a clue on what you want to do with your life, if you're working somewhere, you want to change your job, if you're self-employed and you want to go in another direction and you don't know exactly what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to decide sooner or later what you're going to do. And fortunately, I was able to do that.
Let me ask this. You say you were going to be a car salesman. Is there a misconception in NBA, NFL when it comes to athletes in regards to the amount of money they have going into retirement? Because I know that time is different from then until now, but NBA stars, athletes have always made a significant amount of money. And the perception is that you're going into retirement with millions of dollars. Is that the case for everybody, or is that just a chosen few of the people who are going into retirement with millions of dollars?
I would say most NBA, well, I'm going to stick with the NBA. Most NBA athletes nowadays, they're going to hopefully retire with millions of dollars. I played back in the 80s, and I'll say it, and I'm proud to say it. I was making $100 and something thousand. I look back on that and say, what is that worth today? We're not going to get into the value of money and all that. But I did not have millions of dollars when I retired. I might have hundreds of thousands, but I did not have $1 million. That's a misconception that people feel that all athletes, no matter if they played in the 80s or if they played in the 90s, that they have millions of dollars. That's not the case. You have Uncle Sam, you have expenses, you have stupidity, because stupidity means that you have money and you spend money like you think you're going to have it forever. And unfortunately, a lot of athletes, even myself, I wasted money when I was playing. You might buy a car that you don't need. You might buy clothes that you don't need. There's different things you might do. Some do it more to an extreme than others. But when you talk about having X amount of dollars in the bank, I had money in the bank, but nothing to the extent of what they have nowadays at all.
So Al, here's my question, because on this podcast, we talk a lot about hip hop and politics. So, you being from Brooklyn, in the hip hop realm, on Jay-Z's last album, because we're going to dive into that a little bit too, with the whole, preparation after, retirement. Jay-Z had a song and he talked about, being able to make an investment, and one investment that he didn't make that he should have made, about some area called Dumbo. Is that an area of Brooklyn?
Yes, that's Brooklyn. Yes, that's Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay. So in your day, was there a situation like that now that you look back on that you should have maybe taken some of those hundreds of thousands, or was it all into, because we haven't touched on this, this is our, this is the guy, everybody listen to this podcast who's been down with 3 black guys and the mic. When you hear those Wendy's 4 for 4 and this and that, this is the franchise owner. So was it up to that Wendy's? Was it something that happened beforehand that you may have said, you know what, I should have did that, or that could have did this? Did you have that experience?
I grew up in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and just like probably in Detroit and different places, the brownstones, the city was just giving them away. If you paid the taxes, which was a couple $1,000s, you could own the brownstone. But the thought process was back then, when you coming from a black community, coming to an inner city, you want to move out to the suburbs. So when you talk about investments, if I would have purchased some of those brownstones, they're selling for millions of dollars now. One thing I would say to people is that I dabble in real estate a little bit, is that you need to go down to City Hall and try to find out what's the master plan. And that's a real thing. A master plan is something that
Right.
every municipality has, that shows what's going to be happening in the future. So if you're looking to get into real estate and try to develop and know what's happening, go down to City Hall and ask for the master plan. It's available to anyone.
So let me ask this question, and we know your time is valuable, so we don't want to hold you all night, even though you're hanging up on us and all. But that's a whole other thing.
There you go. We won't get into that.
Yeah. So the Albert King that you are today, and the Albert King that you were the day before you had to open up the newspaper and start looking for a job as a car salesman, what would you tell that Albert King or Allen Iverson or any player that is leaving the NBA or NFL or whatever, and and is having a difficult time, making a plan for the future?
I guess one of the big things I would say is that business, Wendy's has been good for me and my family over the last 22 years. When I first started out, and I would say this to anyone that goes into business, is that it's not going to happen overnight. It took many years to generate income that I'm satisfied with. One thing I would say, one thing that happens with athletes is that we all have egos. And when I started out in this business, I worked on the register, I worked on the fry station, I worked on the grill, I mopped the floor, and most athletes do not have the ability to see customers come in because I like to break it down to the real level. A lot of athletes don't have the ability to be able to deal with that, having customers come in and see that they used to be a star, quote unquote, athlete, and now they don't know if they work there or they don't know if they own the place or whatever it may be. They don't have the ability to let their ego go to the side. If you're going to go into the franchise business, either you're going to do it two ways. You're going to do it the way I did it, is where I started and build a store at a time. Or athletes nowadays, they're going to buy multiple stores. They're going to buy 20 stores, 30 stores, 40 stores at a time, where they're going to have someone running the business. When you start out like I did, you're going to have to run the business yourself. And you're going to have the ability, you have to have the ability to put the ego aside and know that you're going to have to get your hands dirty. And that's something that we lack sometimes as athletes. We want things just to come to us because we've been spoiled our whole life. I was spoiled growing up when I was playing since I was 13 until I retired. I was spoiled in sports. Everything was done for you. You travel on the road. Someone does the plane ticket. Someone does hotel. The bus is right there. Someone's telling you what to do with your life, where to go, where to practice, what time to be there. When you retire, all those things are out the window. You have to deal with your business and your life totally different than when you're playing. So the big thing I would say is, one, get a plan, and plans change, but you have to leave your ego at the door.
Let me ask this in regards to, the journey to Wendy's. You're sitting there again, you're looking through the newspaper, you go and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a car salesman. And then the franchise opportunity, opens up. How did that journey to Wendy's come about? And then from a capital perspective, how were you able to either raise money? Did you have the franchise money up front, already saved in the bank account? Did you have to partner with people? What was the process of going from retirement to investing into a Wendy's?
I met a gentleman that his name is Spiro Lennis. He had 15 stores when I met him back in 1995. I started out in Wendy's investing, meaning I was not involved with day-to-day operations. We opened up a couple stores as partners. And then in 1990, so I went to Wendy's University, where you had to learn everything about Wendy's. You go through the training program, you work all the stations, you learn the business, you learn the accounting part of it. In 1998, I went on my own. Not because we had a bad relationship. It's just I just wanted to go branch out on my own. It's it was a good experience. It was a humbling experience. I lost money in the beginning. It's not something where you're going to make money overnight. It's going to take a while. When you talk about how do you go about opening a franchise, a lot of people nowadays open up a Wendy's franchise, and this is just a number. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you almost $1.5 million to $2 million. The reason why is that if you buy the land, especially in New Jersey, it costs you X amount of dollars. You're going to pay $700,000-$800,000 for a piece of land in New Jersey. Different parts of the country is going to be different. But when people hear those numbers, they assume you have to have that money in your pocket, meaning in the bank. That's not the case. And I thought the same thing. There's financing out there that's available where you still have to put down money. You have to put down probably 20% of whatever amount that you're borrowing. You borrow $2 million, you have to put down $200,000. It's probably better to put down more because that's getting into another thing. Your expenses will be lower. But what I did was when I started out in a business, I had deferred money from the New Jersey Nets. I had $300,000 from the New Jersey Nets. So I took that money and I invested it in the business. So that's how I started out in the Wendy's business. I took that money that I had, deferred payment, meaning that throughout your contract, they put a certain percentage aside for when you retire, if you want, and then you get the money. So unfortunately, I did that. So I took that money and started investing in Wendy's. Once you start investing in Wendy's and you open up stores, financing capital is much easier to get. When you first start out, it's going to be very hard to finance. But once you start opening up stores, I would say it's a lot easier to get the financing. So that's how I started out in business. 1995, investing, became a franchisee with Wendy's in 1998, and I went from there. And it's been a nice journey.
So I read in the article so you worked at Wendy's for free?
Yes. Again, you have to leave your ego at the door. I worked at my former partner, his Wendy's for 6 months for free because I wanted to learn the business. I mean, why should he pay me? I don't know the business. I'm not bringing in customers. So I worked there for free, and then I went for 6 months to Wendy's University throughout the country, in Pennsylvania, and different places.
Do you have creative control when it comes to your advertising? Like, do you have say in what you want to do in regards to your particular stores, or do you have to do everything focused on the franchisor?
I'm a very conservative person. I'm not a very creative person. I want them to do it. And I guess when I say I would do a franchise and only a franchise, because I'm not looking to create advertising. I'm not like Lamont. Lamont's in the music business, and he's more creative from that standpoint. So he might be more hesitant to go into a franchise because wherever the table is supposed to be, that's where the table goes. Wherever a picture is supposed to be, that's where the picture goes. Whatever food you sell, everyone sells. If you're someone that is very creative and really like to use your own ideas, then the franchise is not for you. Because they're going to come into your business and say, why do you have the chair on the left side and not on the right side? So you have me. I like that. I like that structure.
They're going to come in and say, why you got a picture of 3 black guys with a mic in your stores? Why you got these pop-up signs in your stores?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only thing, I have 2 stores in Newark, New Jersey. You can, when I say everything has to be as it is, they give you some leeway as far as if I'm in a black community, you could put up pictures of the community. You still might have to have the Wendy's pictures, but you could put up pictures that fit into the community and the music. You could have soul music. You don't have to have the elevated music. So there is a little bit of flexibility, but if you want to change the wallpaper or if you want to serve barbecue ribs, nah, you're not getting away with that.
So Al, wait. So Al, are you saying that your stores that are in Newark, New Jersey, that their ice is not as cold as the ice that they may sell?
Are you serious?
What? I'm just asking. You heard what he said.
Wait. Where did that come from? Why do you say
that? Ignore him, Al. Ignore him.
He said that
I said what? What did I say?
You said in the urban stores that it could be done a little differently. And what I try to explain to the other 2/3 black guys on this podcast is that in other communities, their ice is colder.
No, he's saying that Wendy's
Wait. Let's back up.
Let's back up. A little bit of leeway to do an X, Y, and Z.
Right. So that
ignore him, man. Ignore him, Al.
That means that he knows how to cater to his local markets individually better. And it means that if he wants to have a 3 Black Guys with a Mic live show in one of his Newark stores, he can do that.
But that's not what he
said. On January
13th. But he can't go and sell chicken wings and ribs and put barbecue sauce on the Wendy's, on the 4-for-4 meal.
And put linen.
No, you're not selling 4-for-4 fried chicken. No, you're not doing that. You're not getting away with that.
You're not doing that.
You're not getting away with that. No.
I tried to make sure we were clear. That was it. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll leave it alone.
Al,
but
man, we appreciate it, man.
Excuse Lamont.
Excuse him.
I think y'all need to go down to 2 brothers instead of 3.
That's exactly.
Hey,
thank you so very much. Exactly. We appreciate that. Al, man, we thank you so very much for the time, man. We truly appreciate you, and thank you so very much for, your support in the podcast. We truly appreciate that as well. Congratulations for being in business, and coming on and explain to our listeners and, actually helping, people understand the biggest misconception, one, about the NBA, as well as, entrepreneurship, because I think that people have this huge misconception about what the perception of an NBA star really is. And some of them, are big ballers, and some of them are not. I mean, some of them are really not.
I would want to say is that there's a percentage of athletes, former and current, that financially they don't take care of their business. But there are a lot of successful, I'll just say black athletes out there. I want to leave with this note is that your listening audience need to Google the name Junior Bridgman. Junior Bridgman, I'll just say Junior Bridgman NBA. He played in the NBA back in the late 70s, early 80s, and whenever I say his name, there's a sound that comes over. He has over 150 Wendy's. He has over 150 or so chili restaurants. He travels around in his private plane. He is one of the most successful black, white, whatever it is, former athletes that no one knows about because he's very humble, very quiet. He goes about his business. I just want people, Junior Bridgman NBA. You would be shocked. You would be shocked.
Can I get a job?
I mean, I asked him the same thing. But whenever I need something, I go to him. But that's just a name I want to throw out there because there's a lot of former athletes that are doing great things, and he's at the top of the list.
Got a net worth of $600 million. I did my Google already.
I'm telling you. Let me tell you, brother. He's something else.
Al, thank you so very much, man. We truly appreciate the call tonight, man. Thank you so very much for being on. We truly appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much again. And continue success.
It's a pleasure. And y'all keep up doing the good things because you're doing a lot of good things for the people out there. They need to hear about it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Good deal. All right.
And
Thank you,
Lamont
sir.
Lamont owes me lunch, and not where he wants to go. But anyway,
I got you, sir. No problem.
that's a competitor. We won't go there. We will leave that alone.
Yeah, we gonna edit that part out, Spud.
Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good one.
Fellas. Let me tell you a story about how I became so fresh. You know, my swagger was getting jacked. My sexiness was not being properly preserved and respected. A shave, a haircut. I had what they call extra follicular ingrown hairs. That's when the hair comes out and then grows back into the skin. Makes a little bump, gets red and irritable, maybe sometimes even pussy. Not a good look. I tried everything. Tried the alcohol, dries the skin out. I tried the witch hazel. I tried peroxide. I tried picking at it, scratching at it. All that stuff is bad for you. What's good for you, which helps healthy hair growth, Bumpcology. Bumpcology.com is where you can get yourself some Bumpcology. Get your swag back. Preserve your sexy. Go to Bumpcology.com. You shave, you get a haircut, you want to go there. In fact, go to Bumpcology.com. Go to shop on their webpage and look for the ingrown serum. Their serum will hydrate your skin, moisturize, and soothe the irritated area. Bumpcology.com. Go and get you some bottles, just $30. Excellent investment. Pick it up. This is what I'm going to do for you. Go to Bumpcology.com, buy your bottle. Take a picture, email it to sir@3blackguyswithamic.com, a picture with you with your bottle. If you do that, I'll buy you a second bottle. That's a buy one, get one. Can't beat that. That's like getting a free bottle, basically. So go to Bumpcology.com. First 2 people to email me a picture of them with their received bottle, I'm going to send you a bottle yourself. I'm going to send you an extra bottle. Bumpcology.com.
Welcome back to Three Black Guys with the Mic. So, Maynard, you put in your request for time off? You off tomorrow?
Why would I be off tomorrow? To stand out there for Meek?
You not going out there for Philly?
Yo, man. God bless Meek Mill. I hope
first Eminem and now Meek Mill. We ain't got no hip-hop fans.
I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. I mean, I think that the judge probably did go a little bit deep, but yo, while on probation, Meek has had like 5, 6, 7 little, violations out here, man. He been, you know what I'm saying? He been testing that water just a little bit. How many fights has he been in this year with Safari and everybody else?
He been in a couple fights. One he got arrested for.
Is that a probation violation?
That is a probation violation.
So what are we? So let me just make sure. And Lamont, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, sir. No, you're 100% correct.
Sir, you're going to jail for 8 years or whatever the sentence is. For what? For what you did. Okay, great. I'm going to jail. You know what, sir? You spent a little bit of time in jail. We're going to go here and we're going to give you parole. You did 2 years of your 8. But if you mess around and you let me see you up in here again, you're going to get the rest of them years. That means you're supposed to do what when you go back out, Lamont?
Go sit your ass down somewhere.
Go
make your money and go in the house.
You ain't got to be out here fighting.
Or popping a willy. Let's not get that.
You ain't got to. You don't have to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, but the judge put him on probation for 10 years.
I don't care if it's 100 years. But let me tell you something. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead, Go ahead.
I know we laugh and joke about that white man's ice is colder, but when you come out the womb, my man, you on probation. And see, I think that's the real problem that a lot of people don't understand is that we as black men, our rules are different, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have to really, and Meek Mill is an example of you're right, Maynard. What that judge, what she did, and her sentencing guidelines were to the max, to the extreme. Yep, the probation officer said it shouldn't have went that way. Yep, even the prosecutor. But what happened is Meek Mill gave her the latitude and the leeway. Meek did that. Nobody said, even when they said, well, Lamont, he was up in the airport breaking up a fight. Well, you know what? I'm on probation. Let them two dudes fight. Let me back up. Meek, that wasn't even your business to be up into that. You feel what I'm saying? Even when you got on that motorcycle, whatever you want to call it, and you popped a willie.
Talk about it,
Playboy,
son. Talk about it,
in
son.
New York City, you cannot pop willies going up a street with automobiles. Yo, dog. So everybody in the street, oh, free Meek. Nah, I'm good. Y'all need to go to work. How about that? Y'all need to go pick up your kids, take them to the playground or something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of y'all down there with these, with the picket sign. And I get it. Yes, the judge was wrong. But Meek was double wrong because he's the one that put himself in that situation. I'm good. We'll pass next because I'll say this, and she's looking good. Don't judge me, but I saw her on Wendy. Remy Ma ain't out there smoking no weed. Remy Ma ain't popping no willies. Remy Ma's like, yo, I'm about to go home to my husband. I'm going to go get this money. I'm going to lean back a little bit. I'm going to do all the other little records I got with Fat Joe, and I'm going to the crib.
All this fighting with Safari, all craziness.
The other thing is that, I think the judge said that I think he failed drug tests and he was on travel restriction travel or something like that. So
he's like, I'm out. He's like, I'm going to get this money. Really? Oh, all right, dog. I got you. Okay, cool. Come on. I got you. So I'm all down with the whole, I get all that. But I saw what he said on stage, but I would be like, yo, Jay, I'm with you, dog. What, him being on probation for that length of time, yo, dog, you on probation the rest of your life, man.
But
that's why Jay moves a certain way, and them other boys that got what they have to move a certain way. And this is how Meek is learning that he can't move the way he's been moving.
But now let me ask this, because Spud want to give passes out here to Tyrese. In the past,
you wanted to know if you wanted to back it up. That's all.
Whoa, don't wait a minute, my dude.
No.
And in the past, Lamont, you wanted to, give some space and some latitude to Kanye. He lost his mom.
Yeah, that was hard on him, though. That was hard, Playboy.
Like 10 years ago? He's still wilding out. Meek lost Nicki Minaj, my dude.
Is that
Don't we feel bad for him?
Out?
That's why he wilding out, man. He lost Nicki.
Stop. So this isn't a criminal justice issue. This is a Meek Mill issue. Meek Mill brought this on himself.
I mean, after he should have had his probation revoked after letting Drake diss him the way Drake dissed him back. I was off top of
Jesus.
That was a probation violation back then. They should have just been like, yo, dude, just go in and sit on the inside for 2 years. You get your battle raps up. Yo, man, we ain't talked about nothing substantive at all.
That's not substantive?
No.
Substantive?
Only thing that we talked about is double eagle steaks.
And that is yes. Yep.
All we talked about is Del Frisco's up in this piece.
Okay. So we want to talk about something.
What
would you like to talk about, Maynard? Would you like to talk about?
This is your podcast, Maynard. How about you take the wheel now?
Go ahead.
Oh, thanks, man. Goodness gracious. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that you finally have come and bent to my will, my dude. I didn't want to tell you this, but Lamont, it's okay. Listen, there's still going to be some space for you on the bus. I'm flying now.
Huh?
I'm flying, but y'all can take the bus. It's all good.
Can I get on a boat bus, bro?
Sir, you listen, it doesn't matter. If you don't show up to the show at all, it don't matter.
That's where we at now. We get around. We coming up on a full 52 weeks, and that's where we at.
Man, come on, man. I mean, I got LVS. You know I got LVS.
This is one of those things where Lamont is calling you old, and you want to call him, short and fat. Is that one? Is this one?
And what's LVS? What is LVS? What is that?
The lead vocal syndrome.
Okay, Roy Moore. Is this going to, is this, I mean, he's down 4 points right now. Is Doug Jones going to be able to pull this off, or is Roy Moore going to be able to, successfully make this happen? I know Mitch McConnell, I'm sure he's trying to get back into, Trump's hat for real and get Luther Strange back on the ballot by writing him in, even though I think it's too late for that. However, is Roy Moore going to be able to pull this thing off, or is it donezo?
Maynard?
Lamont, I defer to you, sir.
No.
Why don't you take a
You
solo?
just told me that I should hang up my headphones, unplug my microphone.
If you're in China right now listening to this podcast, I clearly understand how you cannot understand American politics right now, because the two on this podcast are going back and forth. No, you're fat. No, you're fat. No, you're old. God, dog. No, you go. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Speaking of Tyrese.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say, man. I was in my car today, listening to the press conference and I'm gonna say young lady, who accused Mr. Moore of what happened when she was 16, man, and just listening to the tears and her delivery of what happened, man. And I think that was real. But what's really scary is that I've been kind of paying attention a little bit. There are a lot of people who are still not swayed. They're asking these questions like, why would she do X, Y, and Z? So I think for me, down in Alabama, with all due respect, there's some people, they're not trying to hear that. So I think Moore he might be okay. I think Mr. Roy, I hate to say it, but I think he really might be okay.
But too many other women came out today, right? I mean,
I'm with you, but again,
one woman came out today.
Would you say?
I think one woman came out today.
Yeah, but I think there were 5 people.
It's a total of 5.
It's a total of 5 now.
But there are some people in Alabama, bro, that's like, yo, this is our man. We're riding with him. So I think he's good.
Yo, this. I don't even know where we are in America anymore. Like, this is the worst look ever. So holding on to this seat, this is what would be horrible for these people who are wanting to hold on to this. They decide, no, we're going to elect Roy Moore. He gets there, and just to show how wrong they could be, all of a sudden a tape comes out, or some video of some sort, or like an off the record comment comes out where he basically cops to it. Yeah, I hit it. Something like that. And then they're stuck with a dude who is a pedophile child molester. Like, where's our moral set? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, he gets elected, he goes, and then a tape comes out that basically is the smoking gun that we've been looking for. And now we sit here.
Let me ask you from the right's perspective, right? Here's how the right will position it. Roy Moore hasn't had any allegations for 30 plus years since he has been. Why all of a sudden these ladies are coming out right now? The Washington Post, who is allegedly endorsing, I don't know if that's true or not, Doug Jones in Alabama, all of a sudden is coming out with this story on Roy Moore. And nothing has happened for Roy Moore since he's been in district attorney, I don't know, his other jobs, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. So is there some truth to that?
No, it's not. And the reason why we have to say no, it's not, is because some woman decided to come out and say 25 or 30 years later, Harvey Weinstein did this, and swift justice was delivered. Somebody came out and said, Kevin Spacey touched me when I was 14 back in the 80s. Kevin Spacey got all his little monies chopped off. All his monies got chopped off. They went and found a woman from 1932 that said Bill Cosby did something to him. So, no.
Maynard, that's a tender subject, so I know that's tender for you, Playboy.
What I'm saying is, if it's good for Bill Cosby, if it's good for the Weinsteins, if it's good, and that's what's up. I mean, we're supposed to say, look, we don't stand for that in this society. And Roy Moore may very well, it may not be about the political part as much as it's about he got swept up in the moment right now. The moment is people getting called out every day. Like, you can't go a whole day. My man George Takei got called out. The gay dude from Star Trek, he got called out on this thing. Jeremy Piven got called out. It's happening every day. And Roy Moore, if you did this, why shouldn't you get called out? 30 years later, 40 years later, it don't matter. And the crazy part is, in the state of Alabama, it's legal for a 16-year-old person to marry whoever they choose. And that doesn't sound crazy. A 16-year-old and an 18-year-old decide to go off and get married. But when a 16-year-old marries, when a 17, 18-year-old girl marries a 32, 33-year-old man, who are the people who stood around and said, this is a good idea? Who threw rice at this damn wedding?
Who jumped that broom? Who let them jump that broom?
Right. Who stood up? Who stood beside them and passed the ring? Who was that?
Who was the one who said, speak now? Who didn't speak now or forever hold their peace?
Right.
The thing about it is that the unfortunate part about it is that this, if it was marriage, I would be like, okay, Roy Moore, okay, whatever. But this isn't marriage. This is assault. This is a man who allegedly went up to a girl's job, asked her out. She said yeah, drove around the restaurant to the dang on dumpster and said, listen,
you talking about the lady
girl today. Right, the girl today. You're going to give me some of this. You're going to give me some of this right here. You're going to give me some of this. Gropes her and all this other stuff. She fights him off and allegedly kicks her out of the car and speeds off with the passenger door open. This is a man who meets a girl, a 14-year-old girl at the courthouse, asks for her phone number, gets the phone number, takes her 30 minutes back to his place, kisses her, takes her shirt off, puts her hands on his tighty whities, and gropes
her. Mind you, he's 18 years older than her at the time.
18 years older.
And just so we're clear, what was his position?
He was an attorney at the time. I think he was a district attorney. Wait. So he was a district attorney in Alabama, right? Not Greenbow, Alabama, because that was made up by Forrest Gump. But in Alabama.
Cool. I'm just saying, homeboy was in Alabama. So my man, he probably got some stripes. He might have some old retired hoods in his closet.
Whoa!
I'm just saying, it was in Alabama, bro.
He might. He is the Confederate flag loving, the 10 Commandments. Remember, one of the things as a judge, he was like, no, the 10 Commandments are going to be in this courtroom.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that my man probably has some juice out here. My man probably was like, yo, I'm trying to give me some of that. You saying no, you better be careful because you know how I get down. So, again, here's all I'm going to say, man, about it is that and this goes out to all the Mainers fans because I know they just getting their fingers together, ready to hit the Facebook page. But, we just have to, we have to respect these women. If it takes them a year, 5 years, 25, 30 years, whatever it may be, man, you got to take them for their word, and we got to respect that. We got to adhere to that. And like you just said, Spud, like my man, he don't need to keep his job. If Maynard said it, everybody else got the X, he need to get the X too. Period. But he from Alabama. Keep telling y'all need to quit acting like y'all don't know what that's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Cactus of the Week. This is where somebody said something very extremely stupid, and they got to choke on their words. Maynard, who are you giving the Cactus to week, my man?
Well, there's not a single person receiving this cactus this week, my dude. And in fact, we just covered Roy Moore and discussed all the craziness that's involved. But let's start with the fact that, in the state of Alabama, it's legal for a 16-year-old to marry anyone of their choice that's also 16 years of age or older. And Roy Moore to the best of my knowledge, married his bride when she was 18. He was 30-something years of age, which means that he didn't just like let her turn 18 one day and married her, right? I mean, he was dating her when she was like 17, something like that, which everyone in Alabama would say, but it was legal. It was legal. But in defense of Roy Moore, a gentleman named Jim Ziegler, who's an attorney,
Man.
came out with two statements to defend Roy Moore. And in one of the statements, he says that these allegations. Hold on for a second, gentlemen. Hold on, gentlemen. He said
the Bible one.
The Bible one. He said, well, in one part of the Bible, he said that Zechariah was older than his wife, significantly older. But that was okay. And then he said Mary was 14 when she was with Joseph, and they made Jesus. Mary was 14 when she married Joseph, who was a man who had children, James and others. They made Jesus. And the reason why I say that this cactus is for more than just Jim Ziegler, although he should have the lion's share of this cactus. He gets the big chunk. He gets like the whole stalk part. But the two little arms, I want to slice that up for the other 4 million people in Alabama that continue to let this damn law stay on the books, where 16-year-old girls get to get married to 35-year-old men if the 35-year-old man so desires. This is on some foolishness. This is on some foolishness. You know, and I know right now that as a 46-year-old man, I decide I'm going to go knock on some 16-year-old girl's door. Somebody ought to put 2 shots in you. At least 2. That's ridiculous. And there have been cases in other parts of the country, not in Alabama, but in Georgia, for instance. I'm thinking of Marcus Dixon, who was a black football player who dated a girl who was 15 when he was 17. She bought the beer, rented the room, paid for all the other activities. They had sex. He went to prison. It's just 2 years. They were in school together. They were in class together. Roy Moore, you out here messing with 16-year-old girls? Dude, what you taking, biology 101? What, you got an English paper due at the end of the semester? My man, this is craziness. Jim Ziegler, choke on some cactus. Alabama, fix your laws. Get your life right, Alabama. Get your life right. And until then, cactus.
Okay, we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much to my man Albert King for joining us today. Thank you so very much for listening. We'll be back again Tuesday for another episode of 3 Black Guys with the Mic. Maybe we'll give out some turkeys next week. No? Okay. No. Make sure you go to our website, 3blackguyswiththemic.com. Get in on the conversation. Say everything you want to say negative to Lamont about all his unnecessary comments today on this podcast at www.facebook.com/3blackguyswiththemic. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Oh, shit and fuck.